Alright, and we are back. Ready to talk to Vex as promised.
Steal anything worth talking about?
Actually, yes, I did steal anything.
Back with good news, I trust?
Something. No, I do not want to quit the chill job. What kind of a dialogue option is that? Is this unusual gem worth anything?
Been a while since I've seen one of those.
Oh.
What you've got there is a stone of Baronzaya.
Ah, haha, okay, I see. Nice, a Daedric Lord. Very good, very good. Things starting to get interesting, aren't they now? Is it worth anything? Well, of course it's worth.
Not like that, it isn't.
What?
The stone was pried off of Baronzaya's ceremonial crown by a thief in order to cover his tracks.
How many of these are there?
I think there were 24 in all. Most people keep them as a curiosity. Some of the guild members have tried to locate them over the years, but they haven't been successful. Well, until now.
Indeed. You sure you won't buy it, though?
Look, I only buy things I can turn around quickly for a profit. And no one wants these stones unless they have the whole set.
Whoa.
Tell you what, if you find the rest of them, talk to me again. Otherwise, keep it. Maybe it'll bring you luck.
That's it. I have to find 23 more. Oh my god. Fine, alright.
I don't want a trail of dead bodies leading here. Keep it clean.
Yes,
It's
well.
been a long time since anyone joined us. Seems like people are in a rush to leave.
Do you want to tell
Even
us
if you're one of us,
No,
you better
apparently
not
not.
make trouble.
Yes. How about you shut up?
I'll
suppose
look
it's
the other
yours
way
now.
this time.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Didn't really want to do that, honestly. Let's see if I wanted to talk to... Okay, didn't actually... Did not actually
Back with good news, I trust?
have any serious
Out with it.
repercussions.
Time is
apparently.
money.
I did steal from the thieves though, right from under their faces.
Pull up a seat. Have a drink.
Can I sell this Queen Bee statue to you?
Well, well. I was looking for this little beauty. If you happen across any other unusual trinkets like this, be sure to bring them to me. I promise it'll be worth the effort. There you go. This should cover it.
Alright, I'll be sure to bring it to you. 200 gold coins added, not bad.
I don't want
For a
trail of
statue.
dead bodies leading
Very
here.
nice actually.
Keep it clean.
Let's see, can we steal it back from him? No, apparently we can't. Still, it's a good addition. The gold coin, of course. My purse is a couple of 100 gold pieces heavier right now, which is always a good thing now, isn't it? No stone unturned. Recover the stones of Baronzaya. Yes, this is the one that will probably take quite a while to finish, so we're not going to mark that one. Should we speak to Maven Blackfire? Not really, no. Not yet, I don't want to do that yet. I want to complete the other two quests that I have. Where the hell am I? Whoa, not here. Alright, this way. I want to complete the other two quests that I have. And even though it will take me to Winterhold, I think, and Midhelm, respectively, I am keen on doing them right now. Maybe we can finish both of them during this video. Damn you! Secret closing door of the mausoleum. You will earn my wrath very quickly if you keep on doing that. And I may dull my blade on your brick walls.
I know you.
This is not the Dharma you're looking for.
Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll.
You could say the Ratway is the city under the city.
Right.
Dark, dangerous, and no place for decent folk.
Right, well, Riften really isn't the place for decent folk. given that.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
See?
Then I took an arrow in the knee.
See what I'm saying? There you go. Alright, no use in staying in the city anymore. Might as well exit, see to the carriage, make sure we get in Windhelm in one piece, or Whiterun, depending where should we go first. Suppose at the New Geese's Corner Club in Windhelm. Let's go to Windhelm first.
Need a ride?
Yes.
I can take you to any of the hold capital. Where do you want to go?
Windhelm, my good man.
Back and we'll be off.
Let's save before though. Always good to save.
Ever been to Windhelm? Oldest city in Skyrim by some accounts. They say the big old palace there was built by
Whoa. This is quite a sight we have here. Honestly, Bethesda have never been the greatest of writers. They pale in comparison to the likes of BioWare or Obsidian when it comes to RPGs. But man, can they craft open-worlded games. This is divine, honestly. Yes! We have managed to arrive in Windhelm.
Horses, all day long. Do you have any
No,
idea
not really,
how
and it
dull
does not
this
interest
is?
me, honestly.
It's no secret the R.
Torsten Cruelty. Let's talk to
their
him.
own Hollifrost farm outside the city. It's
No, he
honest
does
work
not
if you
want to
get
talk to
dull.
us, apparently. Their voices overlapped there, and I was speaking over them. Whoa, I never really cared to see how big Windhelm actually is. This is a huge fortress. Immense, really. I suppose it is fitting, as the Jarl is Ulfric himself.
You come here where you're not wanted. You eat our food, you pollute our city with your stink, and you refuse to help the Stormcloaks.
But we haven't taken a side because it's not our fight.
Hey, maybe the reason these Greyskins don't help in the war is because they're Imperial spies.
Imperial spies? You can't be serious.
Maybe we'll pay you a visit tonight, little spy. We got ways of finding out what you really are.
Careful, mate. You might find yourself with a dagger in your...
Looking for shipping? We
Damn
always
it.
offer better service than the East Empire Company.
I wanted to see their names, so I can stick my blade in their throat. Sevaris Atheron. Looks like those Nords were giving you trouble. Not really. Why would anyone think you're a spy? This is what I want to ask.
Some of these Nords will come up with any excuse to despise us. And it isn't just the Dark Elves they hate. They make a target of the Argonians as well.
Thing is,
In
Faeyd
fact,
is
just
actually a
about
real
anyone
spy.
who isn't a Nord is fair game for their bullying.
How ironic that those Nords should accuse this Dunmer of being a spy when an actual one is sitting right next to her, and to them for that matter.
Nothing new there. Most of the Nords living in Windhelm don't care much for us. But Rolf is the worst by far.
Rolf, huh?
He likes to get drunk and walk around the Grey Quarter yelling insults at us in the small hours of the morning. Oh, a real charmer, that one. Safe travels.
All that threaten the people of my homeland will fall.
Name's Nils. I'm the cook up at Candlehearth Hall.
Honestly, I'm looking for those two savages. Engel War Anvil. Quite a powerful name you have there, fellow.
I lost my twin sister a while back. Have you ever lost anyone close?
Well, not really. I mean, Fate has. I haven't. We'll get into that later on.
Can't just throw the big logs on the fire. Gotta have the little bits too.
Who are you? Is this a
I
beggar?
was one of the best soldiers in the Stormcloak army until I took a sword to the chest.
You did what? You took a and you lived? That's impressive.
I'd be out
honestly.
there fighting the Imperials right now if it wasn't for my war wound.
This is a guy I wanted to.
Ever since that Imperial Craven ran
Oh,
me
he's
through
just
from
a
behind,
beggar.
I've had...
Alright.
thank you. Divines bless your kind heart.
At least we've received the gift of charity, which is always useful, honestly. Faeyd Hlaalu. Whoa! One of the Hlaalus. I want to talk to him. I want to talk to him. Faeyd desires to speak to one of his own. Even though he won't recognize us.
The best way for us to win the Nord's
Faeyd is
respect
an
is through
operative.
hard work.
Shadowy operative. Not many Hlaalu
Safe, I hope.
know of him. They know of his deeds, but
Too many dark elves in. I'm proud of my farm. Takes no small effort to grow crops in this part of Skyrim.
you're a farmer, are you? Well, I suppose that's decent living. Not as exciting as Faeyd's career, but still. The explosion or the eruption of the Red Mountain did not leave too many career paths open for the Dunmer, honestly. So I suppose Claxito's House of Curiosities.
The Imperials think we need their laws.
Neriande's house. Alright. What should I... Actually, where's the quest that I'm supposed to do? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Alright, there we go. Given that the name is Newgnesis, Newgnesis? Is that the word? Am I spelling it wrong?
You're a war hero, Brunwolf. Ulfric will listen to you.
It's not that simple. Ulfric wants Skyrim for the Nords. He doesn't trust what he calls outsiders.
You've seen how we live. Cramped alleys, run-down buildings, few guard patrols. Even the name Grey Quarter is an insult.
I'll speak to Ulfric soon, but I make no promises that I can change his mind.
That's all I ask. With your help, we have a chance to make a better life for ourselves here. For that, I thank you.
There's no glory in war. It's just something they tell soldiers so they'll risk their lives.
I thought the Grey Quarter would be a haven for my kind. I was wrong.
Never think of moving back to Morrowind.
Not a day goes by that I don't think about returning to the ancestral home of my people. Still, even with the rough treatment we've had at the hands of Ulfric and his lot, I've got ties here. It's probably more trouble to pack up and leave than it is to stay. Besides, Amberus can't run the Corner Club on his own.
What's the Grey Quarter?
Windhelm is divided into 4 quarters. The Grey Quarter is the one that's home to all the city's dark elves. If it looks to you like an impoverished slum, that's because it is. Ulfric prefers that we live in squalor. He has nothing but disdain for anyone who isn't a Nord. He tolerates us, but that's the extent of his hospitality.
Well, the Lords were always most hardier folk, and close-minded for that matter, so I understand them. It's part of the culture, really, to not be acceptant of all races. Just the way they are, and it adds to the lore, actually.
The Corner Club's been filling up at night lately. I'll bet Elda up at Candlehearth is jealous.
This oddly reminds me of Seda Nin. Does it not?
We might be poor, but is it really any better
Odd.
out there?
Welcome, brother. Please, enjoy yourself.
You know, I'm not really here to enjoy myself. What I am here for requires a much more subtle hand, Red kitchen reader, alright. Ha! Incredible. See what stumbling upon things will do? It will increase your skills. Okay, this is about culinary works and food and what have you. Really not interested in that. Imperial armor. Should we steal this? A game at dinner. Alright, nice. There's something about Hlaalu here. Alright, we are going to steal this book and then read it. Let's steal it and read it later on. Perhaps after finishing this quest. Steal the armor as well. What else? Imperial shield. Let's steal this one. Imperial sword as well. What else should we? Okay, steal the Imperial helmet. And let's complete the set, shall we? Yes. Yes, oh, okay. Now the set is complete. What else can we take? What else? A adeptly locked strongbox. Damn it. Alright, not that hard. Refined moonstone. Okay. That might come in handy, honestly. Another book, perhaps? Another skill book? No. No, it seems not. What do we have here? What do we have here? Okay, we have a ledger. The Arcturian Heresy. Don't really wait. It sounds really interesting. If I were a warrior or a mage, I would have probably be interested in that. But for my present character, it really stirs nothing within. Let's take the plentiful healing potion and change the legend. Okay, I thought that I would be required to do some actual changing, but just interacting with it managed to complete the task apparently. So we should be off then, I suppose. Yes? Oh, I did say I would read that book. Should I do that now? Let's save for saving's sake. Let's see if... Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? What was the book's name? A Game at Dinner? Was this it? I think this was it, yes. Alright. Don't know how long it is. But I suppose I'm going to read it all. Alright. Let me get comfortable, since this will probably be a long read. How about I do it in a voice? A growling voice. No, not a growling, but a lower, deeper voice, perhaps. Kind of like this. Alright, let's see. A Game at Dinner by an anonymous spy. Forward from the publisher. The history behind this letter is almost as interesting and dark as this story it tells. The original letter to the mysterious Danaine was copied and began circulating around the ashlands of Vardenfell a few months ago. In time, a print found its way to the mainland, and Prince Hlaalu Helseth's palace outside Almalexia. While the reader may conclude after reading this letter that the prince would be furious about such a work, impugning his highness with great malevolence, quite the reverse was true. The prince and his mother, Queen Barenzia, had it privately printed into bound copies and sent to libraries and booksellers throughout Morrowind. As matter of record, the prince and the queen have not officially stated whether the letter is a work of pure imagination or based on an actual occurrence. The house dress has publicly denounced the work, and indeed no one named Danaine, despite the suggestions in the letter, has ever been linked to the house. We leave the reader to interpret the letters as he or she believes. Narizgan, publisher, Dark Liege, Dahania. Alright. You are Dahanine. You asked for a detailed description of my experience last night and the reasons for my plead house dress for another assignment. I hope I have served you well in my capacity as informant in the court of Prince Helsa, a man who I have stated in previous reports could teach Malek Baal how to scheme. As you know, I've spent nearly a year now working my way into his inner circle of advisors. He was indeed a friendship when he first arrived in Morrowind and eagerly took me and a few others. Still, he was disciplined to trust any of us, which is perhaps not surprising given his tenuous position in Morrowind society. For your unholiness's recollection, the prince is the eldest son of Varanzia, who was once the queen of Morrowind, and once the queen of the High Rock Kingdom of Weightless. At the death of her husband, Prince Helset's stepfather, King Edward, there was a power struggle between the prince and Edward's daughter, the Princess Elziana. The details of what transpired are imperfect. It is clear that Elziana won the battle and became queen, banishing Helset and Varanzia. Varanzia's only other child, Mogaya, had already left court to marry and become queen of the Somerset Isle Kingdom of First Home. Varanzia and Helset crossed the continent to return to Morrowind only last year. They were well received by Varanzia's uncle, our current king, Hlaalu Athin Lethan, who had taken the throne after Varanzia's abdication more than 40 years ago. Varanzia made it clear that she had no designs on reclaiming the throne, but merely to retire her family estates. Helset, as you know, has lingered in the royal court, and many have whispered that while he lost the throne of Weightless, he does not intend to lose the throne of Morrowind to Lathan's death. I've kept your unholiness informed of the prince's movements, meetings and plots, as well as the names and characters of his other advisors. As you may recall, I've often thought that I was not the only spy in Helset's court. I told you before that a particular Dunmer, councillor of Helset, looked like a fellow I had seen in company of Thola Sayone, the archcanon of the Tribunal Temple. Another, a young Nord woman, has been verified to visit the Imperial Fortress in Balmora. Of course, in their cases, they might well have been on Helset's own business, but I couldn't be certain. I had begun to think myself paranoid as the prince himself when I found myself doubting the sincere loyalty of the prince's chamberlain, Burgess, a Breton who had been in his employ since his days in the court of Weightless. That is the background on that night, last night. Yesterday morning I received a curt invitation to dine with the prince. Based only on my own paranoia, I dispatched one of my servants, who is a good and loyal servant of the house dress, to watch the palace and report back anything unusual. Just before the dinner, he returned and told me that he had witnessed what he had witnessed. A man cloaked in rags had been given entrance into the palace and had stayed there for some time. When he left, my servant saw his face beneath the cloak, an alchemist of infamous repute said to be a leading supplier of exotic poisons. A fine observer, my servant also noticed that the alchemist entered the palace smelling of wickwheat, bittergreen, and something alien and sweet, probably skooma, and he felt he was odorless. He had come to the same conclusion as I did. The prince had procured ingredients to prepare a poison. Bittergreen alone is deadly when eaten raw, while the other ingredients suggested something far deeper. As your unholiness can doubtless imagine, I went to dinner that night, prepared for any eventuality. All of Prince Helset's other councillors were in attendance, and I noticed that all were slightly apprehensive. Of course, I imagined that I was in a nest of spies, and all knew of the prince's mysterious meeting. It is just as likely that some knew of the alchemist's visit, while others were simply concerned by the nature of the prince's invitation, and still others merely unconsciously adopted the tense disposition of their fellow, better informed councillors. The prince, however, was in fine metal, and soon had everyone relaxed and at ease. At 9 we were all ushered into his dining hall where the feast had been laid out. And what a feast! Honeyed corapels, fragrant stews, roasts in various blood sauces, and every variety of fish, fowl expertly and ostentatiously prepared. Crystal and gold flagons of wine, flint, shine, and matze were at our seats to be savoured as appropriate with each course. As tantalizing as the aromas were, it occurred to me that in such a maze of spices and flavors, a discreet poison would be undetectable. Throughout the meal I maintained the illusion of eating the food and drinking the liquor, but I was superstitious and swallowed nothing. Finally, the plates and food were cleared from the table, and a tureen of a spicy broth was placed in the center of the banquet. My mistake. The servant who brought it then retired, closing the banquet hall door behind him. "It smells divine, my prince," said my Marchioness Koga, the Nord woman, "but I cannot eat another thing." "Your Highness," I added, feigning a tone of friendliness and slight intoxication, "you know that everyone at this table would gladly die to put you on the throne of Morrowind. But is it really necessary that we gorge ourselves to death?" The others at the table agree with the appreciative groans. Prince Helseth smiled. "I swear by Vermina the Bitter, my dark liege, even you have never seen a smile such as this one. Ironic words. You see, an alchemist visited me today, as some of you already doubtless know. He showed me how to make a marvelous poison and its antidote, a most potent potion, excellent for my purposes. No restoration spell will aid you once you have ingested it. Only the antidote, interturin, will save you from certain death. And what a death, from what I've heard. I am eager to see it. The effects are all that the alchemist promised. It should be horribly painful for the afflicted, but quite entertaining." No one said a word. I could feel my heart beating hard in my chest. "Your Highness," said Alarat the Dagmar, "I suspected of alliance with the temple. Have you poisoned someone at this table?" "You are very astute, Alarat," said Prince Helseth, looking about the table, eyeing each of his advisers carefully. "Little wonder I value your counsel, as indeed I value all in this room. It would be perhaps easiest for me to say who I haven't poisoned. I haven't poisoned any who serve but one master, any whose loyalty to me is sincere. I haven't poisoned any person who wants to see King Helseth on the throne of Morrowind. I haven't poisoned anyone who isn't a spy for the Empire, the Temple, the House of Telvanni, the House of Redoran, the House of Indoril, the House of Dress. Your Unholiness," he looked directly at me at his last words. "I know that in certainty. My face is practiced at keeping my thoughts from showing. But I immediately thought of every secret meeting I've had, every coded message I sent to you and the house, my dark liege. What could he know? What could he, even without knowing, suspect? I felt my heart beating even faster. Was it fear or poison? I couldn't speak, certain as I was that my voice would betray my calm facade. Those loyal to me who wish harm on my enemies may be wondering, how can I be certain that the poison has been ingested? Is it possible that the guilty party, or dare I say parties, were suspicious and merely pretended to eat and drink tonight? Of course, but even the craftiest of pretenders would have to raise a glass to his or her lips and put empty forks or spoons in their mouths to play the charade. The food, you see, was not poisoned. The cups and cutlery were. If you did not partake out of fear, you're poisoned just the same, and sadly missed an excellent roast. Sweat bedded on my face, and I turned from the prince so he would not see. Sweat bedded on my face. My God! My mouth is parched. My fellow advisors, all of them, were frozen in their seats, from the Marchioness Koga white with fear, to Kemma in visibly shaking, from the furrowed, angry brow of Alarat to the statue-like stare of Burgess. I couldn't help thinking them. Could the prince's entire councilship be comprised of nothing but spies? Was there any person at the table loyal? And then I thought, what if I were not a spy myself? Would I trust Helseth to know that? No one knows better than his advisors both the depth of the prince's paranoia and the utter implacability of his ambition. If I were not a spy for the house dress, even then would I be safe. Would the loyalists be poisoned because of a not-so-innocent misjudgment? The others must have been thinking the same, loyalists and spies alike. While my mind whirled, I could hear the prince's voice addressing all assembled. The poison cuts as quickly. If the antidote is not taken within 1 minute from now, here will be death at the table. I couldn't decide whether I had been poisoned or not. My stomach ached, but I reminded myself it might not have been the result of sitting at a sumptuous banquet and not partaking. My heart shook in my chest, and a bitter taste like trauma root stung my lips. Again, was it fear or poison? These are the last words you will hear if you are disloyal to me, said Prince Helseth, still smiling that damned smile as he watched his advisors squirming in their seats. Take the antidote and live. Could I believe him? I thought of what I knew of the prince and his character. Would he kill a self-confessed spy at his court? Or would he rather send the vanquished back to his masters? The prince was ruthless, but either possibility was within his manner. Surely the theatricality of his whole dinner was meant to be a representation to instill fear. What would my ancestors say if I joined them after sitting at a table, eventually dying of poison? What would they say if I took the antidote, confessing my allegiance to you and the house dress, and was summarily executed? And I confess, I thought of what you might do me. What? Is this a typo? I'm not sure. I thought of what you might to do me even after I was dead. Do to me even after I think. Yeah. I had grown so light-headed and filled with my own thoughts that I didn't see Burgess jump from his seat. I was only suddenly aware that he had the turret in his hands and was gulping down the liquid within. There were guards all around, though I never noticed them entering. Burgess said, Prince Helseth, still smiling, you have spent some time at Ghostgate, House Redux. You didn't know? Burgess laughed sourly. No, House. I report to your stepsister, the Queen of Weightless. I've always been in her employ. By Akatosh, you poisoned me because you thought I was working for some damnable dark elves. You're half right, said the prince. I didn't guess who you were working for, or even that you were a spy. But you're also wrong about me poisoning you. You poisoned yourself and you drank from the tureen. Honestly, I saw this coming, and this is actually a pretty brilliant piece of writing. It really is. Your Unholiness, you don't need to hear how Burgess died. I know that you have seen much over the many, many years of your existence, but you truly don't want to know. I wish I could erase the memory of his agonies from my mind. The council was dismissed shortly thereafter. I do not know if Prince Helseth knows or suspects that I too am a spy. I do not know how many others last night, were as close as I was from drinking from the tureen before Burgess did. I only know that if the prince does not suspect me now, he will. I cannot win at the games he mastered long ago at the court of Weightless, and I beg your Unholiness, my dark liege Duhanain, to use your influence in the house dress and dismiss your loyal servant from his charge. Publisher's note. Of course, the anonymous writer's signature has not been on any reprint of the latter since the original. So this means that he probably ended up just as poor old Burgess now. Oh well. Again, good piece of reading. Took up most of my video time, the allotted time that I set for myself. Oh well, a good read, and I suppose I should end the video right here, since I really need to get a drink. But yeah, Hope you guys enjoyed that piece of lore about House Hlaalu and Prince Helseth and the house and the spies of House Dress. But yeah, see you guys next time.